about not having sympathy for those who are suffering is that we go and repeat it wherever we possibly can. But the fact of the matter is it hasn't worked. And how can it when you think about it? Because we have one executive and two bosses. But not only that, the whole basis of the British Constitution, which isn't written, of course, is, well, at least it's partly written, but it's not a constitution such as the United States. Interesting fact, by the way, just in case you want to know, the United States has 7 basic principles with 1 or 2 amendments. The EU proposed constitution has 500. It's bureaucracy, bureaucracy, bureaucracy. We really do go wild with it, don't we? But the fact of the matter is, of course, we do need bureaucrats. We do need civil servants. But when it starts to become inefficient and when it gets out of hand, and when in fact they do become de facto those who rule us and govern us, then we need to have a much closer look at it than we are able to, even when it was Lewes District Council. Now we've got a much bigger area. It's even harder to monitor and harder to focus on issues that should be taken into consideration. There's a Lewes District Council meeting tonight at 6 o'clock, just in case you're interested. It takes place at the County Council offices, which is on the edge of town going out towards Brighton, for those people who are new here and who might like to involve themselves in politics by going and taking a look. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see what they're talking about. But I am concerned about the fact that we are losing democracy inch by inch, because this sort of merger takes away the ability of the local citizen to take a look at what's going on with the executive, and with results which already have proved to be disastrous with the 49 sites. Various New Haven initiatives which the local people aren't very keen about. And now the road, which some people approve of and some people don't. We did a straw poll on whether people wanted the road between Lewes and Eastbourne, at least a big road improvement so it become a superhighway. And strange enough, it was 50-50. One normally would think that it's the sort of thing that people don't want particularly, but indeed there were about 50% of respondents who did. Now, this wasn't huge. I think we got about 200 people perhaps who responded, which isn't bad for this area. And we will actually do an analysis of them and give them to you tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever we consider that we've interpreted them properly, because a straw poll can be very damaging if in fact it's not interpreted properly, and I would like to talk to an expert now that we've asked the question. However, we have also put out a survey asking for your opinion about the local council, and we'll be distributing that. I mean, it is up on Facebook at the moment, but we'll be distributing that fairly regularly over the next 48 hours or so. Be interesting to see what you have to say about that. Okay. Is it, where are we? 18 minutes have gone in our programme. Congratulations to Olivia Colman, who took the Best Actress Award at the Oscars. Apparently they were last night. At one time everybody would settle down in front of the television as a no-miss ceremony. I had to wake up this morning and look at the paper to find out that it was going on. It's just, c'est la vie. But it does ask for your opinion about the local councils. It doesn't necessarily ask you about this specific council, just local councils. Because if it is, strangely enough, it is possible to argue that mergers of the sort that we've experienced here and that are being talked about around the country actually go against the British Constitution. Very difficult when it's not a written constitution to say one way or the other, but the point is made by some people that the whole idea of the Bill of Rights, for instance, was upon which our Constitution is based, or non-Constitution, whichever you want to call it, it was very key on the fact that the two things. First of all, that men had the freedom to say what they felt like, and that's being eroded. It's being eroded fast because various groups have now decided that free speech is something that doesn't suit them, and it certainly upsets councils. And although they are not overt in their opposition, they know how to pull a string or two to try and bring it into line. That's number one. But number two is the right to be heard, the right to have a say in your local community and your local government. Every time that these things become bigger, is taken away. And some people argue that is against the British Constitution. I'm going to talk this week to a British constitutional expert to find out what he thinks. But it is the view of some people, and if it is so, then I would worry about that. So, surveys, Constitution, oh dear, heavy stuff. Perhaps what I should do is let's. There's a little something called. No, we won't do that. We'll. Let's go to Bensound again, because I like the Bensound people, and I like to play their stuff because they are very good, and they allow us to play it for free. And this one is called Going Higher, and Bensound is original music. It is, you won't hear it anywhere, well, I mean, you hear it all over the place, but we particularly play it on this program because, first of all, Bensound are very generous in allowing us to do it without fee. And secondly, this stuff is good, in my opinion. And who cares about anybody else's opinion on this program? I'm the boss. Democracy does not rule. Here we go. Going Higher. Well, there you are, going higher. And the temperatures are going higher again today, but then it would appear that we are going to get some snow, according to the experts. Mind you, we didn't get much snow the last time. We got some, but not much. Didn't last for very long. are we going to see March going out not like a lamb but like a lion? It's often said March can go out roaring like a lion. And then April, of course, well, March the 22nd is supposedly the first day of spring, the 21st, 22nd. It was my late sister's birthday, and that's why I remember that particularly, because our mother gave us little hints and clues as to why we should remember birthdays, and that was the first day of spring. So, not very far away, and I think that we... just in case we're getting anything in the background, just in case we're getting a little bit cocky and think that we're going to go through to a nice summer, let's hope it's a nice summer. But the fact of the matter is that we are not over winter yet, so don't get carried away. And another point about snow and so on, of course, is it stops people going on trains, or at least it puts chaos into trains. And just to let you know that it would appear that hopefully there is no chaos this morning. And I'm speaking tongue-in-cheek because I don't know for sure, haven't double-checked, but the works that kept trains from Lewes to London from running last week up to Three Bridges has disappeared. I mean, not disappeared, they finished it. Yesterday was supposed to be the last day. So you should find that the trains are running this morning, but we'll check that out. I would check before you go to the station, to be quite honest with you, but supposedly yesterday was the last day. Then we, later, in a couple of weeks' time, we've got the line chunked up between here and Brighton, but that's not going to be quite as bad, because getting to Brighton on the bus is relatively easy from here. Not so easy to get to Eastbourne on the bus, but nonetheless not impossible. So why not hope for snow if you like, with fluffy stuff coming down, and not if you have to travel. There we are, good old democratic thing. Let's have a row about that. Surveys, please take a look in your Facebook from Mirador Television or from Rouser Radio, because we're asking for your opinion on local government, and it'd be interesting to know how many of you have a say. Quite a few had a say on the road issue, and let's hopefully that we can have a more general view on local government. Where are we now? We are just 2 minutes from the end. Dear. Aldi, local Aldi in Lewes, a store that I've been using almost since it opened, and I think is good value for money. Their stuff is very, very good quality. The prices are lower than anywhere else. The only criticism I have is that you just get used to something that they sell that is very good, and then they stop bringing it in, or they stop selling it. And I'm a particular desire to have Belgian buns, and I've been getting my Belgian buns there for a couple of years, and now suddenly they've stopped bringing in Belgian buns. I get a bit uptight about that, but I suppose every store has to change according to what the majority are buying, not the funny little minorities like me who go in just for the Belgian buns. All right, it's time to go, I'm afraid. There are lots more that we could have talked about this morning, and I would have loved to have done so. But time is always against us, and the nice folk at Bensound have got usual endless motion to see us out. Keith Hayes, Rouser Radio, coming from Lewes in East Sussex. Start of another week. Hope to see you tomorrow. Toodle pip.